boys and girls and everything in between. Welcome to another episode of Shootin the Shibby. I'm Spencer.
Did you just assume I'm in between?
Are our mics on?
Yeah.
We on? Okay,
yeah, we're
cool.
good.
All right, cool. I didn't hear myself for a second.
Did you just
there
assume that I was in between?
I don't know if
You're assuming I'm in between boys and girls, implying that I can't be outside boys and girls, and you're not implying that I can be something outside.
I don't know if you can be.
I it's not.
Anywho, hope you all had a wondrous weekend. Thank you for tuning in. You really threw my groove.
I don't know where I was going with that. I tried to do something and then I lost it, so I just started to say, "Did you just?"
At least wait till I start. At least wait till I get. Oh yeah, it's episode 47. At least wait till I get through the intro.
Oh, hey.
Yeah,
The whole podcast
BT
is ruined. Cancel the podcast. Goodbye, everyone. Bob,
No
play
more
the ending music.
The show is over.
Bob, this is so sad. Play Dispacchio.
Dispacchio.
Good night, everybody.
Alrighty.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Rewind for a second. Dispatchio?
You never saw the meme that was just like Siri, this is so sad. Play Dispacchio.
No, the meme is just.
Play
Wow,
Gazpacho.
this is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito.
Oh, what I say?
Dispacchio. It's Despacito.
What the fuck it's called?
Because the original meme was this guy who was just like, wow, this is so sad. Can we get 50 likes? That turned into, wow, this is so sad. Can we hit women?
Why?
And then that turned into, wow, this is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito.
Dispacchio.
Dispacchio.
The best part about this is anyone who's listening to our podcast now, whenever they're
Yes.
listening to it, and if they have an Alexa-enabled device, it's going to start playing Despacito.
Alexa, play Shootin the Shibby podcast.
On Twitch, because you can do that, I believe in you.
Almost called it the Three Best Friends Show.
Damn,
Wow.
that's a throwback. That's
R.I.P. in peace.
I don't know why. Has it been
rest in
alive?
peace in peace.
By the way, I'm
That's
Brian.
some OG. That's some. We already went over the names, didn't we?
didn't. No, we stopped at you because I laughed at Despacito.
Yes.
Play
fine.
Desperate
No,
Cheeto.
it's
Play-
Dispacchio.
Dispatchio.
Dispacchio.
You sound like a car that's trying to start in the cold.
I sound like Spencer's car after he worked on it.
Well, it ran better than you could say
And I
Dispacchio.
ran.
Notice how he said it ran. Not it runs, it ran. As in past tense.
As in the
No,
song.
it probably still run.
What's that song? Who sings that song again?
Dispacchio?
Flock of seagulls.
Flock of Seagulls. Spencer's car is Flock of Seagulls. And I ran until Spencer worked on me.
Dude, the 80s are making a major comeback. I'm seeing an 80s aesthetic, like the whole cyberpunk thing and whatnot. I kind of like it. I kind of enjoy it. It's one of those things, especially because I got the 80s scooter, so I can like get my Devo. I'll get like a Devo helmet and roll around. And like my scooter was from the 80s. But speaking of, I went to.
Is that when you're rescue as well?
Yes, that's my rescue scooter. Did I ever tell the story about how I called the cops on myself?
No.
I didn't. Oh, that was a good one. All right. So it was Asbury Park. They had there was a scooter convention. In fact, the whole reason why I got this thing. Yeah, shut up. It was fun. Fuck you. I'm a cool kid. Actually, even the scooter crowd, my scooter is shunned upon. But either way, that's okay. That's why I love her.
You got shunned upon at a scooter rally?
Well, because
It's like being kicked out of the loser club.
fuck you.
It's like, this is going to be the 7th meeting of the scooter club. And you're like, hey, friends, I brought a scooter. And they're like, get out of here, dweeb. And it's like,
Well, I mean,
what's the lower form of transportation you can get kicked out of?
rollerblades. Inline skates. Well, no, the only thing, it wasn't really a kick out. So,
I just
like,
want to imagine adults at a roller rink, and they're like, all right, on Wednesdays, we all do roller nights. It's adult night. And you go there, and they're like, get out of here, loser.
well, so you know how in FLCL, Haruko has her Vespa scooter. That's pretty much the motif of most of the scooter rallies. It's just these vintage, two-stroke, air-cooled, kickstart, like ring-a-gang-gang sort of things. And my scooter is in the 80s, Honda modernized things. It's water-cooled. It's four-stroke. It's electric start. It's reliable, so therefore it's not cool.
I understood all of those words, but separately.
I heard water and electric start, and I'm just waiting for this thing to
Yes,
shock him.
put electric
Well, it's
and
Spencer,
water.
so it's going to die.
Funny you mentioned somebody. I was trying to at one point when I was trying to get the scooter to run, I couldn't get spark from the spark plug, and someone said just jam a screwdriver in the socket and see if it shocks you. It's like
And it shocked him.
No, I did. I forgot.
Shockingly, it didn't.
Shockingly, I forgot to connect the wire.
Number 3 will shock you.
Jesus Christ.
So how did you, before we get to that, before we
get to that.
how the hell did you call the cops on you?
So long story short, I had a backpack with me, and I was staying with my one friend for the weekend, and where my mom has a property over there, and so like it was still being built and whatnot, and there's a small shed, and so I just wanted to drop my backpack off, so I went to go to the shed, and as soon as I roll up, all I see is like it's like a screened-in area, and I just see 2 feet on the ground, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go away. And then I'm thinking in my head, like, well, maybe it was just in my head, and so I go back over, shine the headlights, like, nope, those are feet. So like, I just chuck my backpack in a bush, because that's obviously the sane, correct thing that a human should do. When
I
they're
see feet, bag, go away.
And so, like, I called my brothers, like, do I have to call the police? He's like, yes, you have to call the police. I was like, I don't want to call the police. Call the police. Fine. So I called the cops, and, of course, when the cops got there, there was nobody to be found. But they apparently were also looking for a red scooter because he put a mysterious bag in a bush. Now, I went back and I got the bag because, like, right after I did that, I'm like, why did I just do that? So I went back to the bush and I grabbed it, but apparently, and rightfully so, a neighbor saw that happen and was like, some mysterious jackass on this crappy Honda just chucked a backpack full of who knows what into a bush. And so I called the cops to have them come to that location, and as they approach, they shine their spotlight on me. And I'm like, all right, that's a little aggressive. But okay, I mean, we know who each other is. Like, he's like, good evening, sir. How are you doing tonight? I was like, well, I've had better nights. There's some random person over in there. It's like, yeah, but well, what else have you been doing tonight? I'm like, well, I'm just hanging out. I'm going to scooter rally. He's like, oh, you didn't like put a backpack in a bush or anything? And I'm like, I can explain. And I explained the story, and it was one of those things I guess was so far-fetched that he just kind of quizzically looked at me and ignored the fact that I didn't have my motorcycle license yet, and just and just kind of like it was all true. So like it all checked out, but it's just one of those stories where like you did what, and so that's the day that I called the cops on myself at a scooter rally.
So we haven't
got arrested.
We have a new feature on Shootin the Shibby. On the Shibby Shack, and it's not only a phone call, which we'll give you the phone number in just a minute, but
it's up on the screen right now.
It is actually, if you're watching live.
You should be.
Our live studio attendee is now reading our comment section, and I believe we have a comment.
Hi there, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, friend.
So our first comment is from Mima Cal, and she said she loves our decorations. I'm assuming she means the heart on the bar at the studio and the heart vines behind you.
So festive, yes. It really brings the loving.
Brings out the love in everyone.
Can you feel the love tonight?
I know I can.
Saw that song done live.
Was it the
Elton John.
Lion King? That was Lion King. That was Lion King. Yes.
Elton John wrote that for the Lion King.
Oh,
yes.
but you didn't see like Lion King on
No,
Broadway.
I saw Elton John live.
I saw it on Broadway. It was great. I was like 8.
I saw Elton
That's
John.
pretty cool.
I think, or 10.
I was 21.
I was listening to the radio, and apparently there's people out there, like there's 10 people have this phenomenon, but they can remember every single circumstance, or like they, was it the radio or was it H3 podcast? But you could, they can remember every single moment of their entire life, like vividly, like down to the day,
That's crazy.
the minute, the moment. I would kill to have something like that. I can't remember shit to the point that I'll get into an argument with somebody, and they'll say to me, no, you said that, and I can't trust myself to believe what I thought I said as being the thing I said, and then I kind of just mosey away.
I just imagine that meme now. The guy was like, trust no one, not even yourself, and it's the guy looking to the side, and it's him behind himself with a gun. Thank you for the comment, by the way.
Yes,
please send in your
Gil.
comments live on Twitch.
Yes.
Twitch.tv/Shibby_Shack.
But if you are watching live, we do have a phone number finally set up. The number you can give us a call is 320-318-SHIB.
But Bob,
7447.
I was about to say, how do you put letters into the phone number?
Well,
Whoa.
back in my day,
We had to dial on a rotary
Look
phone.
at-
There was only 3 phones.
Look
My
at-
phone number was 2.
Like that bit where he's like, "Hello, hi, is this John? No, what number are you trying to call? 3? Oh, this is 4. Ooh, sorry, wrong number." But yeah, no, look at the letters on your phone.
Yeah, 320-318-7442 is the number. If you want to give us a call, talk about whatever we're talking about. We're going to have some pretty good topics coming up on today's show.
Indeed.
So something I was going to transition to, but I want to let Spencer finish his story. A lovely company that we all know and love, Buzzfeed.
Walmart? Oh.
About the Walmart of journalism.
I like that.
They are doing the Walmart fashion too, and had big layoffs. And
Did Walmart really have big layoffs?
well, or no, I think that was just a meme where Walmart's having a lot of layoffs, where they're closing they're closing 80% of their registers, which is firing 3 people.
They can't have layoffs because they barely pay them in the first place. How can they not afford it?
Because then they realize they're only making $5 billion instead of $6 billion.
They could build
Or
their own wall.
$5.1 billion.
Look at that.
Every day.
Actually, I'm totally down to Walmart.
So BuzzFeed, they're currently doing some massive layoffs where I believe it was 15% of the company.
It turns out shit-tier journalism doesn't pay the bills anymore.
So
I mean, people want actual truth behind their journalism?
No. It's up to the person listening to decide if it's truth or not.
Oh, so
I'll say the sky's purple. It's
I
up to
stand
you,
mistaken.
believe me.
So in honor of BuzzFeed doing some massive layoffs, I decided to do the 5 things BuzzFeed did that I freaking despised and I think were really stupid, which possibly caused
Number
to their
3
downfall.
will shock you.
Number 1, exist.
It's the top 6 because number 1 is exist. So number 5 of the scale of things that they did to just irk the crap out of me. Number 5 was they had Disney princesses. They said random people dress up as Disney princesses, drink drinks named after themselves. So they just made up fake drinks and had Disney princesses drink them when it was just random people they had drink them. And I'm like, this is dumb.
That's just
It's dumb.
fun.
It's not
okay,
fun.
See, that's the part of BuzzFeed that I didn't mind because
No,
that doesn't
dumb.
do anything. Yes, it is dumb, but that's the whole point.
I don't like this whole Disney princess craze that like people
Oh,
go
come
on where
on.
they're just like
Disney
I don't
princess
like
read.
it. The dumbest thing, it wasn't BuzzFeed, it was Cosmopolitan who did it, but the dumbest thing I ever saw was Disney princesses losing their health care in these powerful images. And the first one was Jasmine losing the fact that she couldn't get her birth control anymore with Aladdin, and some sad, poorly photoshopped doctor handing her a thing that says your coverage has been canceled.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Or my favorite, Ariel on the phone with Mitch McConnell.
That's so sad too.
Our camera just decided to tilt like that.
Play
Whoa,
Dispacchio.
we're falling over. I'll fix.
Play Deep Pistachio.
Actually, no, it's like this.
Here, I got
Spence,
it.
do you mind getting that? 'Cause I
Yeah,
gotta
about to say
finish my list
you
here.
keep going.
Number 4.
You're on a roll.
They created the list, the 57 things wrong with the class of 2018, which basically wasn't things wrong with the class of 2018. It turned into, let's just jerk off about the 90s, which 90s nostalgia is a problem in of its own. Mm-hmm. Which also, that article is another problem that BuzzFeed had. Like, there's top 10s for a reason. You know, you really think about something, so the things in your top 10 mean something. It's not just, I don't know, I threw 10 things together, whatever. Some people
Right.
do that, but the whole point of a top 10 is for it to mean something. What BuzzFeed did was it always was like the 32 things about this, or the 48 things about that, or the 16 things I found on Wikipedia before I could make this article.
Well, that was an eye catcher thing. Like, I would
it was
rather
just-
read
it
a
was
list
really-
of 27 things and see top 10, top 10, top 10, top 10.
But at least, for me, the top 10 meant something. It's like you actually thought about this list instead of just, here's 37 things I found about a topic that just mattered to me today.
Oh, please. You really think every top 10 has been that thought about?
No, I'm saying not every
In
top.
fact, the
of
top
course-
10 is almost easier because you could just take that list of 37 and just act passionate about whatever 10 you feel like.
At least they're acting passionate because also because the thing for that were Actually, also,
And we would
the
not
class-
want BuzzFeed to be fake.
Don't worry. We're getting to that one. Number 2 will surprise you. But
What,
so
BuzzFeed
a lot,
is shit?
so a lot of the things that they did for that was that they were just like they didn't even actually do any work for the articles. They just took Twitter screen caps or just pictures they found and wrote one sentence before them, and they just threw it in there.
I'll never forget. I went through the sources on. I believe I can't remember if it was definitely BuzzFeed, but it was one of either like the AJ Plus or Mike or this, all the other alternative media sources. But they would just quote each other. Like their sources were just linked to like another like
Our source is AJ Plus. What's AJ's? What's Plus? Is
BuzzFeed. Like,
Great.
fantastic.
An endless loop.
And don't get me wrong, like it's. And I think it's fair to say that most of those sources were left-leaning and whatnot, but they would tell.
I don't care which way they lean.
I'm just saying that they would make fun of the
give it
president
credible
because our
sources.
president tweets out of his asshole also, but they would make fun of the president for spreading fake news while simultaneously spreading fake news.
Don't you worry, we're getting to that.
Okay, I did know.
But before we continue on, the live studio attendee has a comment for us.
So Mima Kell referenced Pocahontas calling Elizabeth Warren and saying she found her on 23andMe.
That's great.
Oh shit!
I'm pretty sure Pocahontas was on there too, and I think it's I forgot what the Pocahontas.
I could
one
probably
was.
find it real quick.
Look up on Cosmopolitan. Just type in Disney princesses losing healthcare Cosmopolitan.
I'm-
It's a great read. It's a great read.
Great, right there next to Everybody Poops. A fantastic read.
Yeah. Number 3, the stupid things BuzzFeed did was they did a video because they had their hard-hitting video pieces of girls showing their boyfriends their period blood, and they would put it in a bag, their period blood, and show their boyfriends. And I was like, I caved. I watched the video. None of them
Oh.
gave a crap. They were just like, okay.
I am proud of you,
And
sweetheart.
like, what was the point of it? Like, I was expecting the whole thing to be like the boyfriend to be like, "Ew, that's gross," and then be like, "Listen, this is important because you shouldn't be grossed out by what comes out of your girlfriend." It's like, wow, you really taught me today. No, none of them gave a crap. So I'm like, what's the point?
Terry on the phone with Mr. Carroll.
Yeah. So Spencer's looking up the pictures.
Yeah, if you want to see the source material, I just googled Disney princesses losing healthcare. I didn't even have to
It's
do
the
Cosmo.
Cosmopolitan one. It's fantastic.
And the worst part is, like, a lot of the, like, what they're trying to get at is definitely a major issue that needs to be talked about. But the execution.
You know who's not losing healthcare? The
Cartoons?
princess of the fucking country.
Well, also cartoons.
Also cartoons, but also they're princesses. The royalty people wouldn't be the ones losing their freaking healthcare.
Also, me, Mikhail, it seems Pocahontas has a pre-existing condition. That was the.
That was caused by like the water tampering or something.
It doesn't matter if your
syphilis,
water's
you know.
contaminated. It's a pre-existing condition.
It was great. It was absolutely
Is
fantastic.
that really a thing? Can contaminated water cause something that's pre-existed?
Well, no, it would give you an issue that when you go to
Oh.
apply for healthcare, they'll be like, well, that's a pre-existing condition, which is a legitimate issue, but I'm not going to take it serious when Pocahontas is the one pushing it. So continuing the list. Number 2 is all the fake news and lies that BuzzFeed has spread. And when called out for spreading out the fake news and lies, they pretty much doubled down and said, hey, we're just publishing stuff as it's developing. And, it's really up to the readers to find out if it's true or not.
I don't know how they get away with that. I don't know how. Well, I mean, I know how they get away.
There's
because
no way to get.
I'm about to say
They got away with it because they want what's
Freedom of
popular on
press.
the internet.
And at the end of the day, it is freedom of the press, and I do believe that everyone has the right to be fucking stupid. But I don't know how people took them seriously after that. Like, that's a major. It wasn't that the CEO
I don't know anyone
or
who
the
took
chief-
BuzzFeed seriously in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, it was the head honcho of BuzzFeed who came out because the first one they did was someone made up a fake thing where they said Trump hired some Russian model so he could pee, so they would pee on him or he would pee on them.
Yeah,
it was
I
some
remember
like
that.
clearly fake thing that came out just to spread something
Just
about
to
the
stir the
president
pot,
to say
yeah.
he's a big bad person.
And this
Which
is-
also, don't get me wrong, I'm just gonna say right now, I don't like Trump. I hate him. He's stupid. Hit him on stuff that actually is true.
There's so much. There's so
plenty.
much.
There's plenty.
And like, I'm even getting sick of seeing the stuff that is true because it's just so. Even though the creators of South Park were like, we're done, we're done with the Trump jokes. It's too easy. We want to do other things now. It's getting old. It's too easy.
It's getting old, America.
But like,
because it's all fueling them too. That's what
absolutely.
It's all doing. It's just fueling them.
Because all all the MAGA hat toting people see that and say, you goddamn libtards. Like, why would anybody purposely fuel that movement? And then the worst part is you have people also that will just blindly follow BuzzFeed and support whatever BuzzFeed says just because it's BuzzFeed and they don't want the opposite side. If you want to win arguments, know when to say, I am wrong. I messed up. That didn't work. It makes you own it. Own your mistakes. Oh, dear God,
you own it
have I
because
learned.
that also gives you credibility, too.
Correct.
It shows that you can learn, you can adapt, improvise, adapt, and overcome.
I mean, but besides me, everyone makes mistakes, I never.
Yeah, no one's ever dropped a beer bottle on a mixer or anything.
No, I've never said anything terrible on the podcast.
So, to finish off my list.
That's a good beer.
Only the finest in Dutch quality.
Indeed. Heineken. I thought it was German.
To finish off my list. The worst.
Great tagline, by the way.
Heineken, I thought it was German. Actually, it's good.
Heineken.
I don't even know a kid. Anyway.
So, to finish off the list, the worst thing. What could be worse?
Sorry. Continue. I just made a really dumb joke. Just continue.
Great. To finish off the list, what could be worse than fake news? What could be worse than spreading lies? What can be worse than everything that BuzzFeed has ever done?
The mere existence of BuzzFeed.
Well, that was the true number one, but this is my list number one.
Well, at least the existence of BuzzFeed creates jobs. Wait.
Ooh. The worst thing they did was somebody made an article about Max Goof from a Goofy movie about how he grew up and became a lumbersexual. You're probably sitting there thinking to yourself, Brian, what is a lumbersexual?
Is it someone who likes to have sex with trees?
You know what? It would make more sense.
Honestly, what
it would make more sense if that was
because when you say like
actual...
bisexual, you find both sexes attractive. Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, pansexual isn't about fucking pan, so that's just
well, pan is in you find just like personalities.
Kitchenware.
It's personalities.
Yeah.
It's personalities.
I know it's a joke. It's an easy one. I'm sorry,
pans, but yeah, no, I was saying like, so a lumbersexual is somebody who dresses up like a lumberjack, apparently. Like the whole lumberjack look, which also we just deemed that's just a hipster. That's just a hipster.
Yeah,
I know. The beard and the flannels and the like fake overall strings and the jeans and just that's just a hipster.
I have so many questions.
But not only did they say the article was titled "Max Goof has grown up and he's totally hot," and then it went on to say how
calm down, son. It's just a drawing. SpongeBob.
And then they went on to say how he grew up, became a lumbersexual, and they had somebody actually took the time to draw out pictures of Max Goof doing Instagram posts of him with his shirt off,
right,
with like this beard and like this like look of like, oh, working out today with PJ, and then like the Instagram thing was like, yo, Max, we lifting today, and he's like, yeah, Peach just hit me up and whatever. And I'm like, who did this?
Why are people imagining this?
And the next thing was like, and he has a Twitter feed there, and he's not embarrassed of his dad anymore. And it's like he retweeted something Goofy said, and he's like, he's not afraid to be who he is with his family. And it's like him with his kid and his wife, which was his girlfriend in the movie or whatever. And I'm just sitting there like, who's this for? Who is this for? Who wants to look at there and be like, yes, Max Goof. That's what I want to see him grown up as a lumbersexual.
These millennials.
Also, who made up the term lumbersexual and why?
I think, okay, so one of the major issues with BuzzFeed is when they do stuff that's not so serious, it's taken seriously because of their other content, and there's no distinguishing, like, when Philip DeFranco makes a joke or whatnot, he at least says, this is news, this is my opinion. And, of course, there will always be some sort of bias somewhere, but when BuzzFeed, like, I bet you they made that one where, like, lumbersexual wasn't actually meant to be taken seriously.
The person who made the thing also runs an actual Twitter account of Max Goof.
I'm sure he does.
Every day, just new pictures of him like that. Like, there's a joke, And then there's just how far can you take something?
Do you need to talk to someone there, pal?
The one thing that one of the things that bother me about BuzzFeed is during, I think it was like the Summer Olympics or something like that, they made a post of like, these 25 guys will make you want to watch the World Cup of soccer. It's like
it was like 25 guys, pretty much,
and it's just 20. It's 25 attractive guys,
and you can see the outline of their drunk through their shorts and whatnot.
Yeah,
or their booties were popping.
Yeah,
and then it was like blatant sexism when guys check out women at Olympics. Or
yeah, and like the next day there's a post like, oh, this blatant sexism. This man was staring at this woman's what? Click here to find out. Like
her foot.
How can you?
And there's also all of the BuzzFeed articles that's just like, find out what office character you are by clicking pieces of toast. Found out I'm Prison Mike because I like toast with butter on top.
I'm Danny DeVito because my toast always falls butter down. Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
I'm Stanley because I like wheat bread, apparently.
One of my favorites. There's an illustrator he goes by Gaff Comics, and he made a comic about BuzzFeed. And it just starts off as a comm major student.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah,
this is one of my favorite comics.
A comm major student, like going to communication school, staying up real late, sleepless hours. You just see the coffee cup next to her. She's sleeping next to a Red Bull can in the library. And the second to last slide is her with a diploma. Oh, I'm sorry, third to last. The second to last is a guy from BuzzFeed saying you're hired. And then the final slide is just her with like this blatantly like just
I've lost it eyes.
Exactly. This whole vanilla overt smile, and she's writing a BuzzFeed article that's 20 reasons why Taylor Swift's vagina should be president of the universe.
Yep.
Grade A journalism.
So,
and the worst part is, I bet you there are a bunch of wonderful journalists that work for BuzzFeed, and they had to use this as a stepping stone.
Wasn't there a article or a quiz somewhere on BuzzFeed saying, like, you know, take this quiz to find out whether or not you'll be fired from BuzzFeed?
I'm about to say, did we flat out say it? Like, the BuzzFeed's laying off a large population of their
like
employees.
A vast majority of their employees.
I don't know if it's majority, but it's
I think it was like 15%.
It's a decent chunk. Yeah, it's a nice
lot
chunk.
of BuzzFeed.
Well, you want to know what it is too? Like, you have so many. I'm all for alternative media sources. It's a good. I think it's a good thing to have alternative media next to mainstream media, just so that they could. It's checks and kind of checks and balances, because you have you have one side, the mainstream media is what we're all fed, and then on the other side you have the alternative media that is that's background checking, or we would hope. And so, but there are so many different sources out there. There are so many different organizations, or even just individuals, that are doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And it's just BuzzFeed, I just remember when BuzzFeed came out, it just seemed like a wave out of nowhere. All of a sudden.
When BuzzFeed came out, it wasn't even like anything hard-hitting, or they even tried to be
listicles.
like news.
It was just
listicles upon listicles of like, here's people reacting to the Oscars, and they just took Twitter screen caps, and they were like, and at
right, but
Jenny 384 said.
But then also there was the the video format where I could have sworn it was BuzzFeed that started it. If it wasn't, they definitely popularized it. But the whole thing, like, it would just be like, if they were talking about, I don't know, let's talk about a school. It'll be like a picture of the school and then text over the video, and a picture of the school and then text over the video. And it's just like a simple, easy way to, anybody who can practice Final Cut Pro in 5 minutes can edit like these articles. And then boom, all of these sources do the same thing. Like,
well, it's because BuzzFeed made it popular. They did things that people just enjoy doing it, because it was like,
well, I think,
find out what Friends character you are by picking cars.
It's just, no, that one sounds fun. But when they did it, it was groundbreaking, and that's where they got this popularity and income and whatnot. But now that everything they do is the same as everyone else, this is where you're seeing the lack of popularity. You know, where all these other smaller sources are coming up. BuzzFeed was the big guy of the little guys, if that makes any sense. Like,
yeah, no, it's like when people talk about the king of indie games, they think of like Shovel Knight or Super Meat Boy or Minecraft. Like, they were the kings of indie media.
I don't even know if I consider Minecraft indie anymore. Is it still?
Well,
it's still independent. It's not. No one owns Minecraft besides just Mojang. Then they don't make anything else. They just make Minecraft.
Well, they don't have to. They have Minecraft is making
No, they were
enough
like
money,
thanks. They were like thanks, Notch, as he just went off to do his own thing.
pretty much, and
He
Minecraft.
made Cliff Horse, and that's all he's done since.
I don't know what Cliff Horse is.
It's just a horse running up a cliff. He has so much money, he's bored.
Oh yeah, no, he can have 5 children and already have a retirement fund for them. Like it's insane. But
So I found the article or the quiz. Do you still have a job at BuzzFeed?
All right, let's take it.
It was posted today, January 28th at 10:35 a.m. And the first
I'm
question,
sorry, no, let's be good. Who made this list? Who made the quiz?
Jason Sweeten is the community contributor.
Thank you, Jason.
shout out to Jason Sweeten, Dispacchio.
Hold on a second there.
There
The live
we
studio
go. Go
attendee
for
is
it.
going to give us something.
The article that I found said that he used to work for BuzzFeed to make those types of quizzes. So as a big FU, he made this one.
That's
Which is funny
amazing.
because there's like a lot of people who left BuzzFeed to go to like YouTube or other places, and they always make like a why I left BuzzFeed, and they just shit on them like a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So your first question:
All right, I'll do the quiz. So hit me.
how many years have you worked at BuzzFeed?
None.
Less than 2, 2 to 3,
Yep.
3 to 4.
What are you gonna do? Is
Or I remember when our holiday bonus was a drawing of a cat, and the CEO presented it as an investment.
that can't
do
be
that
true.
one.
That can't be true. That can't be fucking true.
All right.
I really hope
That's what we're picking.
The next one: what is your department?
Okay.
Editorial, business,
Mm-hmm.
technology. For the last 2 years, I've done nothing but write personality quizzes. My boss assured me that I could try other things within the department, but she was just laid off.
Cool. Let's pick that one.
This sounds like something of like some disturbing moment in a video game where you're learning about a dark history. And
Question 3. Puppies, kittens, monkeys. They used to stab us in the foot whenever we didn't hit quota.
that's not actually the question 3.
Next
Although it might as well
question.
should be.
Are you a manager? No. Yes. Or yes, but that's because it was only a way for me to advance here. There wasn't much training, and now I fear I'm doing a poor job. But also, I can't revert to being a writer because they say I'm needed. It's so confusing.
That one.
All right.
I'm so good at this.
What?
I bet I get Chandler.
What is What is your favorite BuzzFeed memory? Seeing Grumpy Cat,
None of the above.
Is none of the above on there?
all of the lulls, meeting Cole Sprouse from Riverdale, and the Try Guys spent 8 hours trying to pop a weather balloon right by my desk. It was for Facebook Live, and the noise was very distracting. I missed a deadline, and my boss called me an incompetent via Slack.
That one.
I like Grumpy Cat.
Actually, can you go back and pick Grumpy Cat?
No. Commit.
All right, fine. We're committing to the bit.
Are you proud to say you work for BuzzFeed?
No, the answer's no. I don't care about the bit. The answer's
Well,
no.
I do. I care about the I see 2 small answers and one rather elaborate one. So I want to hear this played out.
First one, of course. Number 2, not really. Number 3, when I tell people at parties I work at BuzzFeed, their faces light up. They have so many questions, and I feel so special. What will I become when this part of my identity is stripped away?
No way.
Not really?
Oh, let's commit to the bit. You can pick the big long one.
Okay.
I want it to be not really.
Next one, remember all that free Chobani?
Sure.
Yes.
Greek yogurt.
Such a good perk. That blueberry was yum.
I do love Chobani.
Chobani gives you cancer. It's going to be the big one.
And
That would suck because I'm next. I love Chobani.
Hey, congratulations.
and the next and the next one is
Love you, Mom.
once I was so
Love you,
burnt
Eric.
out that I sobbed in my HR representative's office. She hugged me and said everything would be okay. We're going to work out a plan. But then she stopped responding to my emails.
Wait, what was the first part of that?
Once I was so burnt out that I sobbed in my HR representative's office. She hugged me and said everything would be okay. We're going to work out a plan, but then she stopped responding to my
Remember
emails.
this question was about yogurt?
Well, that's what. Dude, this is
Sure.
like-
Let's.
this is some doki tier stuff going on right here.
Wasn't our holiday party lit? Number 1, AF.
I'm waiting for I was raped in the bathroom.
Number
Like the
2,
big one.
loved it. Number 3, I got so drunk. And the final one, did you know when we were spending that money on appetizers in an open bar, did you know that we were paying for a celebration at the expense of people's livelihoods?
Pick the big one, and then we have a question.
Studio attendee, go for it.
Oh my God. So Mima Cal said, funny cancer jokes. I expected that only on BuzzFeed. ...
Well, we're going over how we used to work there, so yeah.
Yeah, we're former BuzzFeed employees. We're trying to figure out if we still have a job at BuzzFeed. We'll find out.
I hope so. I put my whole retirement fund into this.
Let's see. You bring a dog to the office. Does that help? Yes. Cats, please. I'm allergic with a frowny face. Or pay for my unused PTO.
Oh my God.
Can we just say yes for this one?
Dude, this is depressing.
Okay, I'm just saying yes.
I like dogs, man.
Where do you see yourself in 6 months?
In the ground.
Working for another media company, finishing my book, going back to grad school. I'd like to negotiate for more health insurance. I've just started reading about Cobra, and it's so expensive. Please, I was a freelancer for years, and that health insurance was so horrible.
Top 20 Disney princesses.
Pick it for the bit.
All right.
Reincarnated as cement mixers.
And finally, pick your favorite color. Red, blue, green, unionize your media company.
Black. Pick the black one. Pick the unionize your... I'm sorry, it's in black and white.
It is the black one.
Yes.
Workers of the world unite!
Unionize your media company.
All right, let's
Fuck
see.
yeah.
Do you still have a job at BuzzFeed?
Do we?
Fuck no.
You're being laid off.
Yeah!
Hey, we did it. Wait,
As you may know, the company is going through some organizational changes and your position no longer exists. Thank you for your contributions to the company. You may reapply for the position of freelancer at your earliest convenience.
Apply for a position as free. What's my severance package look like?
Hopefully the door doesn't hit you on the way out. It's a 50-50 shot.
Can I keep my keep my grumpy cat bobblehead?
No, you got to return
That's
it.
BuzzFeed property.
Or pay for it. Either way.
Pretty much. That'll cost you your health insurance.
God. But going back to what you said earlier about how BuzzFeed is the Walmart of journalism.
It
is
is
so true.
At first I was joking, but now I'm not.
And
Holy shit.
First it was ha-has, now it is boo-hoos.
I went to Walmart the other day.
I'm sorry.
I know. They have probably 35 registers.
Oh yeah.
They had both of the self-checkout registers or register areas closed
Oh.
That's the unions.
for no reason.
Those damn self-checkouts are taking our jobs.
And they had literally 2 registers open at 7 o'clock at night.
That sounds about right. Even during peak hours, I've seen max 3
You people still
registers
shop
open.
there. I'm just putting it out there. People bitch and moan and complain. You people still shop there.
I needed to stop in and grab something on the way home.
Oh, of course you did.
It's so convenient.
Of course you did.
It's so
Well, no shit.
It's the same. It's the same
Why
reason
do you
why I
think it's
still
so popular?
The parking
It's
lot
the
at my
same.
local Wawa
It's the
sucks.
same reason why I still shop on Amazon. It's just too convenient.
Well, Amazon, at least they're trying to restructure in a correct direction. Walmart just said, fuck you.
Well, Walmart says fuck you, while Amazon's like, yeah, look at us. We're paying our people more money, also taking away the bonuses. So overall, we're actually saving money.
Yeah, but across the board, those people that weren't making bonuses at all are now getting paid more, so it's just more evenly distributed.
That was a very communist thing to say.
I mean, it's a...
Communism works, guys. You heard it here first from
yeah,
Spencer.
but Amazon isn't a fucking society. It's a corporation.
We live in a society.
Thank you, Kanye West. I know that, but I'm just saying, Amazon is a company where people work at. It's not Soviet fucking Russia. It's not the gulags. They can pee whenever they want to.
Looks like I won't have to use the gulag today. That's my favorite. It's just Stone looking over and goes, "Oh, I don't think I'll have to use the gulag today." And then he just looks at the screen and he just goes, "Never mind." Or my favorite is Jimmy Neutron's dad dressed as a Soviet soldier, and he says, "Sorry, Jimbo, looks like it's the gulag for you." or it's him holding a Yu-Gi-Oh card with the blue eyes white dragon behind him and says, "Sorry, Jimbo, looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm." Those are my favorite.
Now you make me feel bad. That's because I'm thinking, because I actually stopped shopping at Amazon until they announced their $15 minimum wage thing.
I
have so many feelings about
$15
minimum wage.
Well, there's a different. I'm not talking about across the board. Amazon's a gigantic corporation that can actually afford it.
Yeah,
That's
that I'm fine with. But
it seems like small business versus big business is a thing. That's what's left out of the conversation. We know, Bob. We know. You're the guy that owns an independent landscaping company that has 5 employees and has 20 houses. He cannot afford $15 minimum wage.
The mom and pop textile
or the guy
shop.
who owns his own business and runs his own business can't afford to hire anybody.
Correct.
Yeah, so like people who just happen to say, I don't. Like,
Yeah, fuck New Jersey.
Who just decide to
Can I just say
repair
that?
things.
Well, let's face it. The real issue is that there are. I mean, you guys work in the radio realm. Like there is.
I do. I'm the only one who does
did.
it.
Not anymore.
You're both communications people. It's pretty much ipso facto.
I left their job.
There's no middle ground. You either make pennies or you make a shit ton, and that's the issue in general with society. And people are trying to figure out a way, because we as human beings can't just do the right thing and make sure that everyone has a little bit of something. So the people are trying to use either government or not use government so that it's more fair across the
Well,
board.
then the problem also that some people just I know, I think I brought it on here, and I know you guys obviously understand, but there's just this big thing people don't get. When I used to hate seeing them, and I still kind of see them sometimes today.
See what?
Is when people post these pictures like, I don't know why athletes make millions while we have doctors and teachers making pennies. And I'm like, well, to be fair, these athletes, people,
Market
it's
value.
not like we're just taking money and throwing at them because whatever. People pay money for the games. People pay money for the merch. People pay money for whatever. They do stuff on the side. Like,
right.
The money goes there because there's money to be made there. If there's no money to be made somewhere else, then it's not going to come. It's like if there's 2 pizza shops, everyone goes to pizza A instead of pizza B. We don't just give pizza B money because it didn't work out for them. That's just not how it works.
I had a lot of teachers that I loved in high school, but you're not going to see me spend $150 on a jersey with their name on the back of it. Nor would you see me do that
That's
without
what teachers should do. Teachers, there you go. We solved the crisis.
We've saved the teaching unions.
But speaking of,
Sell jerseys.
You see what's going on in California with all the teachers who are on strike?
I've seen where I know that they've been off strike. They finally made an agreement, but I haven't seen what was leading to the strike.
They were leading there, which rightfully so.
Were they pissed the government was shut down?
No. Well, I mean, that probably played a part into it, but
Really?
the whole
I was not kidding. Fuck.
I don't know. I'm saying it could have played like some small part, but the initial thing was just because they're cutting funds, they're rising up class sizes,
and it's the second largest school district in the country as well.
Like California and New Jersey are like the places people go to look at what to do with school budgets because they're the 2 biggest.
It's these damn unions.
And they're like people are saying like, oh, these damn teachers just want to get more money. And it's like, no, like the class sizes are reaching, like there were some class sizes in California that were reaching 50 students a class. You can't
I had less people in my college classes.
Yeah, I had college classes where I literally had 10 kids.
We also went to a private college that's kind of a void, but
yes,
fair enough.
But still, imagine,
I know what you mean.
Imagine high school classes, middle school classes, looking like college lectures.
Dude,
you can't develop relationships with students like that.
How do I reach these kids?
It's a joke, but it's actually true now. Like,
well, we're a fun podcast, so I make a joke. Yay, our teachers aren't getting paid. We don't got health care, and the rich get richer while the poor get poorer. Woo! Shooting the shibby.
Awesome.
But it's like a legitimate thing where like
shooting the socialism.
Because there's going to be those students where you just can't reach them anymore, and
this is true. Also,
you're not. It's like you can't reach the kids, and you can't help them with what they need, and how you. It's just not going to work with the way you're doing it.
Oh yeah, like all 3 of us know people who teach as their career. I can't tell you how much money the people that I know spend on their own classroom for their own class supplies.
Oh, of course,
it's absurd.
How many hours are worked while not on the clock?
Yeah.
Or it's like they come.
But they have
it's
summers
crazy to me.
off.
They have summers off where they don't get paid.
A, they don't get paid when the summers are off. B,
they're still
what do you
working.
want them to do when the kids aren't there?
When you have when they're forced to make new new lesson plans every year.
It's like,
And
they're not
they
just
can only teach so
off
much.
doing
They have
nothing.
how many different ways you can teach 2 + 2 = 4? Actually, have you seen some of the convoluted ways of teaching math?
I saw like that new way where it was like 12 times 35, and they went through this whole thing. And what was
thought it
great
was a joke.
Somebody like there was a teacher explaining how to do it, and somebody did in real time, just him doing the math normally on the side. And I'm just like, why? I'd be like, I get you got to come up with new ways, but at some point you
broke,
can't
don't fix it.
reinvent the wheel.
Right, but if the teacher is being forced to come up with a new way or their job is in jeopardy, what do you want them to do? Like, what are they supposed to do?
Well, that's why like tenure's a thing, because it's just at some point you need it because. Because like for math, it's kind of hard to reinvent the wheel there because it's math. Like numbers don't change. They're
2 +
numbers.
2 will always
2
equal
+ 2
fish.
is always equal 4. But like
I thought it was chair.
science, there could be new things
No,
you find out.
your number's upside down.
Hypotheses could
No.
be wrong, or you could do new.
The number 4 upside down's a chair.
Ah, got
I'm
it.
sorry, Brian's going off on this like this Animal House tier rant about, and we can take it. We'll go
we
back
run
into
when
Norman.
the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. I'm just like the chair is upside down 4.
The word bed looks like a bed.
Holy shit!
LOL looks like
Really
someone's
not know
drowning.
that?
And race car backwards.
So is Taco Cat.
And Bob.
And oh shit, there's another one.
That's not that backwards.
Shut up! See, this is what happens when the teachers don't get paid. I can't think. Damn you, education system! You failed
But
me.
yeah, well, like I was saying, there was
It's
just
not
like,
alcohol.
I know for math it's hard because 2 + 2 = always equal 4. But science, hypotheses could be wrong. They could find something new. There's new stuff always to happen in science. History, you could teach history in different ways. You can spin it.
Dildo of God.
Excuse me.
Is that? I'm trying.
You want to give a little context before you just announce that one?
No, I
I
forgot.
fucked a cantaloupe once.
No, it's not because.
Excuse me.
No, there's one. There's one.
It was wet and moist, and I didn't like it.
What are they called? Ampersands or something? That
Oh,
one.
Blackberry ampersand. Blackberry ampersand.
That one was done on purpose, but. No, I just wanted.
I guarantee you there's someone, just like the Instagram post that you put up the other day, Shibby Shack Official at Instagram, where Brian posted a picture of a guy's tweet where there's always that one person staring at listening to a podcast being like, no, you idiot, it's this. This is that moment for us.
Yep.
There's somebody listening right now saying, Spencer, you idiot. It's called insert
It was
word
something
here.
like dog food or something. Is dildo of God? But hold on, I got this. You guys, I got this.
Okay, just to quickly finish up my bit. Now you know what I don't.
Your
Oh, I'm
listeners
sorry.
could always call in.
They can.
They can, yeah. The number, again, is 320-318-7442 or
It's on the screen.
320-318-SHIB.
It's on the screen.
And also, it is dog food lid backwards is dildo of God.
Great. I'm
we
glad
also-
finally got the context for that.
Go ahead, attendee.
We also got a comment from someone that said, agreed. I'm assuming they are a teacher, so if they want to call in and share their story, they don't have to share their name or what school they work for.
That is true. 320-318-7442 is the number again. But yeah, teachers do so much and put up with so much.
These people are watching your kids.
Yeah.
Why would you not want them to? Why would you not want your teachers to have everything at their disposal? They're teaching
To
your
make
children.
your kid better.
They're going to make the future better. Why would you not want them to succeed? Why would you not want them to have everything that they could possibly need to do well? I don't understand.
How am I going to afford my country club dues if I get taxed higher?
It's like
So you live in New Jersey under Phil Murphy,
use
too.
the taxes right. That's the issue. If you're going to tax, which also taxation is stuff, but that's another story. But if you're going to tax
Libertarian
people, use it right. Stop putting taxes to stupid places.
Nonsense.
Phil Murphy, stop sucking so hard.
Nonsense.
You suck so much, Phil Murphy.
Someone actually created a Facebook group called Impeach Phil Murphy.
Cool, I'm joining.
With a list that you can sign a petition. You need something crazy like 1.5 million signatures for it to go to
I'll join it.
the actual Senate or House
I'm
or
on it.
whatever that is.
Well, we might get weed out of it. Yay.
Yeah, and we also ruined fucking small businesses in the process.
But weed.
It was literally the only thing Pete, like, I know a good majority
Phil
of people
Murphy's
who
just
voted
like,
for him simply because he was going to legalize weed, which A, he hasn't done that yet, and B, has screwed
not
up
how that
everything
works.
else.
You can't just be like, well, I'm the governor now. Go ahead and smoke up. I don't care.
I just
You
imagine.
need a consensus. You need the entire state.
I just
or the
imagine
majority
he
of the
comes
state
in
to
on a
vote
motorcycle with 2 blunts in his hands. Smoke up, Jersey! Woo!
If you guys are finished with this one, I have a full 360 to go off.
Yes. Go for it, please.
Cool.
Because
So
I'm
over the
getting too
weekend,
pissed
I
off.
went to Asbury Park Beer Festival, and dude, I will say my favorite beers are marijuana-infused IPAs. I shit you not, they are fucking delicious. There's one that's called the 420 IPA. I'll get the brewery in a second, but like when you drink it, it just tastes like a delicious IPA. But like when you put your nose to it and take a sniff, like it smells dank. Like it just smells so good.
Dank kush.
But let me tell you, I've never been to a beer fest before. I mean, we've talked about beer. I have one in my hand right now. Like we enjoy our beer on this podcast, but a beer fest was
drinking
something
ginger ale.
else. What's up?
I'm drinking ginger ale.
It's still an ale. So,
Fair enough. You got me there.
but just the atmosphere. You know, they go in, they give you a little glass, and you just go to each place and you drink, and they have a place for you to spit. But I thought that was stupid because spitting out your beer is alcohol abuse, so I would never do that. So you just go place to place to place to
Spencer
place.
swallows.
Damn Skippy, like a mama didn't raise no quitter.
Hear that, ladies?
How you doing?
He's single
How you doing?
and ready to swallow.
So about this beer.
Go on.
Oh, it wasn't even just about the beer, though. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. You go
always
from
about
place
the
to place.
beer.
Although there was a place that had little mini donuts, and you had to tell a really bad joke to get a donut. And so I told the one that was just like, I would never go bungee jumping. I came into this world through a broken rubber. I ain't leaving the same way. Yeah, I got a donut.
Oh, speaking of jokes like that, I have a really funny one I heard the other day for you guys. What does Cinderella say when she got to the bowl?
That I don't have health insurance. Oh boy!
So what did we learn this week? I'm kidding. Kidding.
I heard that one, but I
The
lost it.
highest of brows in her humor. The highest.
Low
of
hanging
brows.
fruit's always the sweetest.
Aye, sir. Ain't that the truth? But it was also like, I'm just like consuming beer, having a good time and whatnot, and all of a sudden I hear like jazz music playing in the background. I turn around and there's a New Orleans styled band just starting and playing and whatnot, and I'm
that's
hopping
awesome.
and oh my god, it was so cool. I was just hopping and dancing around and whatnot, and so. If you've never been to the Asbury Park Convention Center, it's in the middle of the boardwalk, like on the beach boardwalk that you could walk through. But then there's also the Paramount Theater in there, which they opened up for vendors and whatnot. And so you had stickers. You had I bought jalapeno infused honey. That was towards the end of the night. I don't know why I bought that. I mean, I do know why because I needed to break a 20, and I was like, the honey. But they also had like a strong person contest where like they'll give you, I don't know if you like
Oh,
the
yeah,
leader,
the stein, yeah.
the stein of beer, and you have to hold it at a perfect
was so much
perpendicular
fun last
90
year.
degrees. Oh, did you do it?
I went last year. Yeah.
Did you?
Oh no, I didn't do that, but I
You
went.
didn't-
I went.
you
to
went to
Beer
watch?
Fest last year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was so much fun to
incredible.
watch, and I just like it was just such a nice. Everyone was just so happy to be there. You can get a necklace with pretzels on it. I don't know why I don't know if that's a German thing. When I was in Germany, I did not see any necklaces.
Did
with
they have
pretzels.
the Sam Adams Utopias tasting?
I didn't see. No,
Because
they
it was
didn't.
like a secret tasting that they did last year.
Oh, I've had Utopias. I have a friend actually got a bottle somehow. I don't fucking yeah. I have no idea how because I looked it up afterwards. I was like, oh,
It's like
that-
$200+
Yeah,
a
it's-
bottle.
and it's also made of unobtainium. So like, yeah.
The mineral from the Avatar movie?
Is that actually unobtainium?
Unobtainium.
Yeah.
That was a joke. I mean, that's a joke amongst car people for rare parts. Like, it's
No, that was legitimately the Also, that's a side rant for another day about how much the movie Avatar with the blue people was a stupid movie. It was basically blue Pocahontas people. And the rare mineral they wanted from the planet was called unobtainium.
Nerds.
Highest grossing movie for a long time.
well, that was a running joke. Just like Volvos are made of Volvonium, forged by Thor himself.
Your joke was their reality.
Up to Ghost Tragedy.
Mom's spaghetti.
But that's my favorite. Like Volvos are forged from pure Volvonium for the highest. Was it the Alps in Sweden? The highest peaks of the Alps, where they are made, and they must come back with the horns of at least one moose before they can be sold in the car dealership. That's why Volvos are great.
That's why they're so expensive.
They're trained killers. Don't
Do
let
they do
that.
tricks? Do they do like, come here, Volvo, come here?
You could drop it on its head and it won't kill you when you're in the driver's seat. I shit you not. Top Gear dropped a Volvo 240, and this was before safety standards were already on the up and up, but Volvo was always a step ahead. In fact, people would pick apart Volvos to get their cars to get as safe, and they just dropped it on the roof, and it was just like nothing, that's it, bitch. It's phenomenal.
What are you doing?
Do it again.
Harder.
It's like what was it? I forgot what book it was where they were putting rocks on the guy and he was like more weight. He did it until he died.
Oh, I know what you're talking about too.
Is that the Crucible?
Maybe.
Who?
Live studio attendee, can I get a check on that? I feel like you would know.
320-318-7442 is the number.
Who was the guy?
You call in, we'll believe you. You can tell us whatever you want.
When he was about to die, they put rocks on him and he said more weight. Is that the Crucible?
What?
It was a book.
I didn't read The Crucible.
Okay, neat. Never
Look
mind.
it up on the internet.
I think it. I
a
don't
lot
know.
of-
I'm going to double down. Crucible. If I'm wrong, doesn't matter. It's up to you to decide if I'm right or not.
It's okay. You got laid off from Buzzfeed. You don't have to say- you don't
I
have
got
to say
laid
that
off. I
anymore.
can do whatever I want now.
I read The Scarlet Letter.
Great. That has
Why
nothing to
don't
do
you
with
go
what-
ahead?
It's
Why don't
fine.
you
It's
be a
fine. I'm
dear
doubling
and
down.
look up-
Crucible. It's the Crucible. I'm right.
What am I looking at?
Never mind. You're fine.
Okay.
How many rocks can
I'm
you...
here to read the comments, not actively participate.
That's
It's
fair.
fine. It's
Keyboards are
fine.
hard. I got you. It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything is. They're making a second one of that. Fun fact.
Lego movie?
too. Yeah.
Speaking of movies,
Welcome to
and,
Spencer and Bob are on their phones while Brian's here trying to do
I'm
a podcast.
looking up the story. Damn it!
and I'm also looking at the notes here. Damn it! What are you doing? Mumbling about fake news.
You're trying to talk.
We'll keep it up. No, so after the beer fest, I watched Bandersnatch for the first time.
Oh, you finally is that the choose your own adventure thing?
Yes, I didn't realize it actually it felt a lot like Until the Dawn. It was the only thing I didn't like about it is I found out that there's multiple endings that I did not know because there a few times given I was quite exhausted and maybe not in
there
the
had
most.
to be multiple endings.
I
It's a choose your own adventure. If there was all the same ending, that'd be stupid. Or Mass Effect 3.
it can all
It was the Crucible. Nice, but
Thank
it was
you.
the Crucible. You're correct.
Nice. There we
well,
go.
it could
10
still
points
you could
for
still
me.
so what it felt like though because I was playing through because a few times I looped like it just kept going to the same thing and like oh those were all endings. But okay, how do I explain it? It was there was one like where the movie finally you would get to an end and it would just revert you back to a different point so you can choose a different way. So it was non-linear, but
I thought I just
still
picked this one.
pretty much.
Hey, wait a minute. This is what?
But like the ending, so unless there's another ending that I'm missing, which I hope there is, because the ending I got was stupid. Can I just say it? It's been out for a while.
I actually want to try it because people I know are actually doing it now. They tell me to try it, so I want to try it.
Well, then I got nothing left to say in this conversation. The ending I got was really dumb, and that's the ending to the movie.
Also,
It
it
was very
wasn't been up for a
disappointing.
while. It's been up for less than a month.
I mean, that's a while in Netflix time.
What?
That's a while now. I mean,
Spoilers take you have to deal with spoilers. Like the whole spoiler tag lasts for like a year.
no.
It doesn't last. It's under a month.
People talk about movies in a movie theater way
I know, but it's
before a
still
year.
spoiler.
Yeah, but
They usually
I mean,
remind people like, "Hey, this is a spoiler." It's like,
well, that's
letting
why
you know.
I said it's a spoiler.
and I said, "Yeah, I haven't seen it." You're like, "Well, it's been a while. It's been less than a month."
Well, I can't really talk anything else then if that's where we're going to end it.
Yeah, I actually want to try it.
Cool. Well,
So, wait,
it seems like
so this is on.
we're
like,
getting a
so it's on
phone
Netflix.
call. Yeah, give me a second. Let me text Kyle the number.
yeah, tell him to call in there so we can actually
Yeah.
talk to him.
Yeah. All right. you
So
guys-
so
you
that's
guys
so
take
that's
over
on
a
so
second.
that's on Netflix. So Netflix you can actually like
Yes,
so you can actually like choose shit on Netflix.
I think that's it. I think it's one of those things where like, again, Spence, how would this work when you're choosing the end?
So
the,
you're
the ending?
choosing it on Netflix.
Does it like pop up on a screen with like
Yeah,
choices?
so
or-
it goes into like the little black bars will appear and it'll say yes or no. What I didn't like is some of the choices that you make, like it'll say do one thing, but he still does the different thing. So like unlike Until Dawn, where you actually if you choose something, it does the something. you'll choose something and like the character will be like, wait, no, and then he'll do something else. I'm like,
Oh, that's dumb.
yeah.
So essentially,
That part was annoying.
So essentially, it was Mass Effect.
I have never played Mass Effect.
Mass
so I wouldn't
Effect
know.
had an issue where there was a lot of choices, but all those choices ended up leading you to the same thing, and that no matter what you did throughout the entire game,
What's the phone number?
it just led you to the same ending, but different colors of that ending,
Right.
which was a whole thing. So Mass Effect was a game that gave you the illusion of choice. So somebody showed it, like the best was that they would show a graph. So the graph would be like talk to the person, and then everything would branch out, but then it would all come back and essentially be the same thing. So like you would talk to a reporter in the game. The reporter would be like, Commander Shepard, blah, 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 blah. And then you would be like,
punch the
talk to the
reporter?
person. Or,
We're actually getting a phone call. Hold on one
getting
second.
a phone call coming in. So we'll,
Yay.
should I answer the thing now?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
Oh my God! Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I
we can hear
can.
you.
We can. You're actually. This isn't a phone next to a microphone. You are actually piped into our mixer right now. We have technology.
Well, which two of you went and Bob's Impala to Guitar Center for this one?
I actually, this was a gift to me.
We use
Very
the.
cool, man.
Yeah,
The
dude.
next step in the evolutionary chart, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're big
We'll
boys
grow
now.
up one of these
Moving
days.
on up. How are you on this fine day, sir?
Pretty good. We had a good show. We had a little technical difficulties with our live feed, but we came back with a boom and had a good show. What are you guys covering today?
So we're just talking about the Netflix Bandersnatch thing where you have to choose your own adventure, and if you've seen it, don't give any spoilers because Brian and I haven't.
And I wanted to
But
ruin the ending, and they wouldn't let me do it.
We're just talking about stupid endings to things, like if you've ever played the Mass Effect game or something along those lines.
Brando Snatch? Like Marlon Brando's?
Yes, absolutely. It's a
Yes.
game about a guy that creates Marlon Brandos. No, Bandersnatch. It's about a game developer, and he's creating a game, Bandersnatch. I was also really drunk, and I fell asleep for part of it. But
I want to ruin this thing I didn't even pay attention to, and it's been out for less than a month, and people won't let me ruin it.
well, it's not like the plot is that riveting. Like you could figure it out pretty quickly.
I know, but I want to do it. I fell asleep during it. I feel justified to talk about it. Fuck you.
You guys really are on top of those hot topics.
Indeed.
Don't we also
Just like an
we
emo,
also-
kid, we're on those hot topics.
We also got kind of political earlier in the
We
show.
got political. We talked about BuzzFeed laying off people.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that
I
one.
know. Some people, 200-something people. Do you believe that?
I can.
Yeah.
BuzzFeed sucks.
Honestly, yeah, dude. It's like BuzzFeed got into a very niche market very early on.
Buzzfeed.
Whoa, got into a very niche market very
hey,
early
hey.
on. And so what ended up happening was they never changed, and it got very mediocre, and therefore their sales plummeted, and people lost jobs. BuzzFeed
Well, their articles
sucks.
They get a little kooky too, like, "Oh, world's biggest salamander." Like what? Like,
Well, it wasn't even. We were talking about that, but then they would also like they were what was it? The CEO or one of the head journalists or
No,
whatever.
it was like the actual head of BuzzFeed. When they reported a story that was clearly proven false, and they had like no evidence besides somebody just made it up on Twitter one day.
Yeah.
And they said, "Well,
hey, just
it's
to get those follows, guys, right?"
yeah." The actual CEO came out and was like, "Well, it's up to the reader to really figure out if it's true or not." Like that's your point as a journalist is to report the truth.
It's called BuzzFeed News.
I understand, but if you're going to try
I
to
know.
make yourself as like a legitimate news source,
No, I agree
the
with you.
point of journalism is to
Don't
find
call
the
it
truth.
call it BuzzFeed maybe instead, like not BuzzFeed News, like BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed, we
Hour.
tried.
Here's what's kind of happening.
BuzzFeed. We tried.
Ugh.
This is you should reach out to somebody that worked at BuzzFeed and see if you could interview them. Now you have the capabilities.
What
You
if
have
we
the
reached
phone,
out-
you should talk to them.
This is true. That's a good idea, sir.
We know someone who works at BuzzFeed.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
we won't say
do.
this person's name, but
No,
we
of
do
course
know
not.
someone who.
Well, but we just took a quiz. So you know how BuzzFeed does little quizzicals. We just did a quiz that one of the ex journalists at BuzzFeed made, where it's will you keep your job at BuzzFeed? And just let me tell you, I expected it going into it to be laughing.
Right. How fucking morbid.
Oh,
That's
dude,
like, will you dig your own grave?
it's hysterical.
it's
pretty
hysterical and dark. I highly recommend it.
we were working together in the podcast world. This would have been an article you should send me before we do our show.
Well, we can send it to you guys now, and you guys can do it next week.
Yeah, indeed.
We can't just interview, offensive linemen from Super Bowl winning Eagles teams on a Monday night. We need other things too.
That was the biggest humble brag I think I've ever heard.
Weird flex, but okay.
Listen. I tell it like it is, and we were really limited tonight. After that interview, I looked at my brother. I said, "Well, now what?"
I really
What
want.
do we do
I really
now?
want to just revive that humble brag Twitter and just retweet what he just said.
Kyle, you should maybe
just
start
fucking
getting
with
into
you guys.
listicles, man. Top 27 reasons why Full Slice Podcast is better than you. Something like that.
No. It should be 27 reasons why Full Slice Podcast should inspire you to be better.
Well done, humble, even humble.
As a listener, you interrupted me. As a listener, this has nothing to do with podcast. Tomorrow, I have to co-host a podcast called the Essential Guy Talk Podcast again. They're having a barbecue sauce competition with people that sent barbecue sauces from all over the United States. And these guys are way out of our league. And they're like, can you come co-host with us? Can you drive an hour and 10 minutes and come to our show and help us? I'm like, what the hell could I add? They're like, we don't really know. So it's not
We need something fresh.
this lack of detail in the complimentary world of podcasting. It's not just me, okay?
That's you.
Hey Spencer, did you go to the beer fest this weekend? I'm not sure if you made that clear.
I may or may not have went to the beer fest. Why were you looking at my Instagram story? Because you don't have to see it. I just do that for myself. Everyone else who sees it's whatever.
Yeah, but
I just posted on this platform for everyone to see. If you see it, that's your issue.
I enjoy sharing my life, Brian.
with your fuzzy flapper hat like you were an extra in A Christmas Story.
Like you wear it indoors.
Yeah, because it's fucking warm. It's so warm and
You're
cozy.
indoors.
It's in the convention center,
indoors,
sir.
Do you wear your sunglasses at night?
So I can. Yes,
You're someone
I
who
do.
wears wool knit caps during the summer.
Dude, it's called a beanie, okay?
You're like Lou Reed. I wear my sunglasses inside.
Yeah, just minus all the heroin and stuff. Yeah, that's me.
And
All
this
the
summer
white
we might
lightning.
This summer we might do some promotional shows, cross promotions with the Stone Pony, and we'd like to maybe piggyback that with you guys. So maybe if you want to help spread the love, we'll send some concerts your way. How would that sound?
Absolutely.
We'll talk to our agent.
We'll look into our schedule.
Yeah,
Well,
man,
you're
that sounds
actually
awesome.
You're talking to your advertising agent right now.
Hey, Kyle.
Touche.
Hey, so we just
Kyle.
got a call.
So check out Spicy Jams NJ on Instagram.
That's great. What you're doing is good. It's very rare where people can go into a room with absolutely no planning and come out with what you guys.
First, he humble brags about himself, and then he just gave us a backhanded compliment. I love it.
Not many people that could just pull off some bunch of bullshit and do it for an hour and a
And
half.
somehow make it work, I guess.
You guys have fun, but you're awful.
Hey,
You have custom artwork. You have a really big scene in all the different. We're just SoundCloud and iTunes. That's enough for us to handle because you're three guys. You're killing it. You're doing a really, really fantastic job. And the way I keep you guys, from getting onto Pluto is to keep you here on Earth.
Well,
So
thank you, sir. Whenever I'm feeling good about myself, I can trust you'll call in to beat me back down. So thank you.
while also patting you on the back.
But also, yeah, but just give me a little butt tap to get me back up, though. Bring me up, beat me down, lift me up.
You're doing great, and I'm glad to have any association with you guys, whether it's, bringing you guys some jam or talking on the phone. I think what you guys are doing is great. I love your format, and, it'd be cool to maybe get all of us in one place now that you guys are upgrading your equipment. Maybe one day we'll get our mics over there. We can have all five of us.
Dude, that's the dream right there. Let's make
Oh,
it
that's
happen,
hot.
man. Oh, that's hot.
But they
That's
say, teamwork makes the dream work, right? Yeah.
Yeah, go team venture.
All right, Uncle Kyle signing out.
All right,
All right,
Kyle.
Kyle, hang up. We got to call you to ask if it was a good idea to do work with you or not.
I'll have my people call your people.
Call yourself. Are you a trustable source?
I don't
Don't
know.
call us. We'll you.
All right, my friend. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, love you guys. See you.
Love you too, brother.
Buddy.
I was Kyle of the Full Slice Podcast. Go ahead and give those guys some love if you get a chance.
Check them out on Instagram at Full Slice Podcast, Facebook as well. They do live streams Mondays as well. And also Kyle's Jam.
Kyle's Bitchin' Jams.
The best damn jam in New Jersey.
Best
In the Garden State.
Garden State.
It's has better ring to it.
Best damn jam in the Garden State.
Follow him on Instagram at SpicyJamsNJ.
Indeed. That stands for New Jersey.
It does?
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
That private college really helped out.
I had 5 people in my class.
I mean, you were an American Studies major.
I was one of 2 that graduated in my class.
Wow, you were second in your class. That's awesome.
Fuck you. Bob,
Wow, you know what, Bob?
dude, that
Fuck yeah, dude.
might have been the
Hell
funniest thing you've
yeah.
ever said. That was
You know what? We can't. What did we learn today? Besides Bob,
got nothing.
Bob roasted the crap out of you.
It's always the quiet ones you gotta watch out for. That's what I learned. It's always the motherfucking quiet ones.
Damn, Bob, that was good. That was a good one.
You got any burn heel down here, man? That hurts.
Ha! You're gonna need burn heel.
Well, no, Bob, you're going last. Brian, what'd you learn?
Shout out to the 7th gym in the first generation of Pokemon. That would be Blaine, the fire gym leader.
That's like such a 90s, like, frosted tip, visor wearing sounding name.
Who's that,
bro? I'm Blaine.
He was bald and he had a big mustache.
Well, this is what I imagine when I hear the word.
And he had,
I
like,
pretty
goggles
much,
on.
Pretty much just a young Guy Fieri is what I hear of when I think of Blaine.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, I watched it really quickly before we finish up the podcast here. I watched a video called "In the Defense of Guy Fieri" about how Guy Fieri really has done nothing
love him.
wrong. Like besides wear flame Hawaiian shirts and sunglasses,
Exactly.
and have a frosted tip hair, he's generally a great guy.
Oh my god,
So-
I love Guy Fieri.
Yeah, so it's just funny that everyone likes to crap on him when
like
in
his
reality he's
Camaro.
just a cool guy.
It is nice.
So yeah, what I learned today was that I got laid off from Buzzfeed. I thought I would have kept my job, but got laid off.
I'm here for you, Brian. Stay strong, stay true.
No, you just got laid off too.
Top 20 reasons why Brian will find a new
No,
job.
excuse you. There'd be top 27 reasons because that's all you could find within your time constraint.
Yeah.
That explains so much.
Oh, boyo. All right.
What did I learn?
That's what I found before I can get to the second page of Google, and I got bored.
funny.
I learned that Walmart is, or BuzzFeed is basically the Walmart of journalism.
Walmart is the BuzzFeed of journalism.
Buzz is the Mart feed of journalism.
Because journalism is the Walmart of BuzzFeed.
Germany.
Wall Fuzz is the Beat Mart.
Did our live studio attendee learn anything?
I wasn't prepared to participate.
Fair enough.
She learned that she was going to participate.
Yay!
Can I get part? How'd you say it again? Participate.
Dispatchio.
Dispatchio. It's like I was in the Dispatchio situation. Can the title of this podcast just be called Alexa Played Dispatchio?
What's the actual song name again?
Despacito.
Despacito.
Dispatchio.
D Pistachio.
Yeah, what flavor do you want? I want Dispatchio. You've been listening to Shootin' the Shibby.
Yeah, anyway, you've been listening to Shootin' the Shibby. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Shibby Shack. It follows on Instagram at Shibby Shack Official. We are on iTunes. We release new episodes every Tuesday at 11 a.m., give or take. Like us, subscribe, give us 5 stars and all that kind of stuff. Give us a comment, review us. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Check us out on Google Play Music, Spotify, Player.fm, TuneIn Radio, our website, shootintheshibby.podbean.com. Special thanks to Bethany at Daleks and Dragons, who made our awesome artwork that you see on the screen. DJ Quads as well for our great intro, setting up, and outro music as well. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch. We broadcast the podcast every Monday night live right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/shibby_shack. Normally, we try to stream a game afterwards as well. We may or may not be doing something like that tonight.
I mean, I'm down for some more.
I'm down
odd
for a
ones
way out.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can finish
until
it up.
we're a way out.
Until a way out.
On a way dawn.
That reminds me, I wanted to bring something up. Oh, well, I'll bring it up next week.
What do you want to bring up? You can do it quick.
No, we're talking about a way out and how it's a whole thing. So we'll talk
Okay,
about it.
well-
We'll bring it up next
All
week.
right.
Maybe
next
we'll
week.
bring it up on the stream.
Hey,
Watch it to find out.
Yes. What?
Wow.
But yeah, so
wow.
check us out on twitch.tv/shibby_shack. So for one final time for Owen Wilson, aka Spencer,
Wow.
and Brian,
Wow.
and our live studio attendee,
Good night, everybody.
I am Bob. Thank you so much for listening to Shootin' the Shabby.
Bob hurt my feelings.
Shootin' the Shabby. Shoot.
Every day.